Money laundering, stupid.
All right, guys, we're fucking here. It's Life and Times, and again, we're at the greatest place on earth, Pirate Studios, because this episode, again, is sponsored by Pirate Studios. Like I said, this is the place you want to be no matter what level of creator you are, either DJ, doing band stuff, rapper, singer, etc. Any level, this is the place you need to be. Like I said, too, go ahead and follow their podcast. So I'll be on their podcast as well. You know what I mean? Again, they're doing the same thing I'm doing here. It's good work, trying to uncover, show stories, and really pay homage to the people that are, that paved the way for all of us. So, but without further ado, we're really here with exactly what I said in the last video. We're here with a legend, man. You know what I mean? Someone that I'm happy to, call a good friend of mine, and but realistically, guys, this person again, you've heard you. There's no way you've not heard any of his production. Even if you think you didn't hear it, you heard it. I promise. I promise you. You know what I mean, guys? This
Appreciate
is
you, bro.
hey, man. This is history right here, man. You know what I mean? And without further ado, without being too talkative, man, who are we here with?
Um, so, man, you gave me a great intro, brother. You already know, man. Bit rolling in this bit. You know what I'm saying? Long way coming. We in LA with it. You know what I'm saying?
He stopped by, y'all.
Yes, sir.
He stopped by, man. How you doing, man?
Good, bro. Living life. Man, I can't complain.
But yeah, so no, how you doing, man? You know what I mean? You're finally on the right side of the goddamn earth.
Man, it's crazy, bro. It feels good.
Hey,
It's good, man. Trees good.
this is what really matters. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
No, man. I like I said, man. I think, like I said, I want to be the first to let you know, like, yeah, man, you've done it. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's a lot more road ahead, and you know what I mean. And you definitely haven't slowed up at all. But I mean, no, you just looking back, man, you've had an illustrious, career. You know what I mean? And doing what you love, and it's paid off, and it showed off. So I want to get into your background and where that where all this started from.
Word up, bro. Shoot. Starts in Georgia, bro. Shit. Born in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in Gwinnett County. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Just the people I met on some regular, teenager shit. You feel me? Skate shit, really.
Mm.
Just met, first person I met that I really started locking in with the music shit, Terrence Escobar. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just
Man.
step by step, kind
Man.
of, working on the sound, doing shit. Me and people, like, of course, funny, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but we all come from the same,
Area.
area, so it was, kind of like divine timing, like,
That's
certain
enough
shit,
for real.
honestly.
So nah, but everybody that talented to be in that area, you know what I'm saying? It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's more like I said, it's really divine time. It's really like destined for
Yeah.
something. You know what I mean? For things to really blossom into what they have. But like so all this started from skating.
Well, I gotta put skating out there because, like, I feel like it just kind of it shaped the people I was around at the time. You feel me? Like my mutuals and just like meeting certain people at that time too. Like in high school, it was like Tumblr wave shit going on. You feel me? Like it was different. You feel me? So it was like the skate shit was tied in with the like fashion. You know what I'm saying? It was just so met a lot of people. Just like on that wave. That was the first shit I developed a style in before even making beats. But yeah, once I caught that groove, I was locked in.
Out of there.
Mm-hmm.
What was like so like were you? Because obviously this we kind of jumped ahead even a little bit, but it's cool.
To put an age on it, I started making beats when I was 16. Like seriously, you know what I'm saying? Like more like I was just learning the program.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Finding artists to work with, and I was a part of just the lifestyle I was on was how I was meeting those people. So
This is like early social media, like super early stuff.
Yeah, facts.
And
so
any artist you was probably finding had to be within the.
It was people local and it was people on the internet.
Yeah.
So, and it was a good time too, because that was before like, you know, a
Yeah.
lot of shit done shifted when it comes to social media. But yeah, like
I mean, it's
created
probably.
kind of a little ecosystem, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, over time.
I
You
mean, I
know,
feel
year
like
by year. So
no, I feel it. I mean, I feel like Atlanta's always good at making that ecosystem too. You know what I mean? That bubble of always emerging talent.
hell yeah.
Has always been a prevalent thing. So, I mean, so you started like you started at 16, and when was like the real eureka moment though? Was like, oh, okay, like this is gonna be here to stay. You know what I mean?
I had to say like parking lot pimping,
Okay.
cause like I hadn't even made that many beats when I produced that song. Like
Oh,
I probably only had made like 20 beats tops.
mhm.
Like that was one of my like first packs of beats. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, cause at the time I was posting like type beats.
Mm.
Like I was posting like Bones, Chris Travis, Young Simi type beats,
Yeah.
shit like that. So
Shout out to
like,
Young Simi. That's a crazy one. I haven't heard that
yeah.
name for a long
So
time either.
that was that was the wave. Like kind of like I was. It was a lot of shit going on
Yeah,
around that
yeah.
time, like 2015,
Mhm.
creeping into 2016. So like, yeah, like like honestly that song didn't start taking off to like it took a little, you know what I'm saying, a
Yeah.
second, but like when the demand of like people hitting me up about that shit, I was like, I gotta make beats because there was just
Yeah.
so many people like I need beats and I only had like 20 beats, 20, 30 beats, so I was like, shit,
Yeah.
I'm locked in.
Nah.
So yeah, that's when I really started like taking that shit like
That is
I was
hard.
like, this shit gonna be crazy, you know what I'm saying? And
No,
kept rolling with it. You know?
it is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, and like, and even speaking it, like that song is so early.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? Like I really want to say that was like one of the big bangs into what was now considered like that golden age. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because Chris Travis and them was doing it for a really long time. That's not we're never gonna just
Oh yeah.
talk to them. But I'm saying like when it started to become new, kind of like how it is now, where things are kind of taking a shift. I feel like that was like one of the biggest, because it didn't sound like anything that
Yeah,
was
for
out.
the
It
for
wasn't.
the underground ATL
Yeah.
wave, you gotta like that's it's
It's up there.
gotta cement it, yeah, as like one of the
Hmm. I mean,
goats.
and then like so. Are you using FL? I feel like everybody has to know if you use FL or not, or
So
what are you doing?
yeah, nah. So I don't use FL. I use MPC.
Oh
It's like
shit!
it's like it's like a drum pad.
Yeah,
So like I'm kind of like I got a different process, but like I always was kind of like I've dabbled with FL. I collab with people like what I'm saying.
yeah.
I know like a little something about it, but yeah, a lot of people be surprised when I tell them that shit.
I am
So,
too, because that's
yeah.
that's usually like, well, again, excuse me if my knowledge is a little not in the right realm, but usually that's like a hip hop, like
Right.
more like
Mm-hmm.
more classic-y hip hop type shit. You know
Exactly.
what I
Yeah.
mean? And you're using it to make the beats that you make is insane.
Yeah. I had to. It was hard at first, like, cause honestly, even with that like parking lot pimping sound, like I was more like sample based
Hmm.
for like, cause of that hip hop feel of that, program and all
Yeah.
that. So like, I kind of just over time kind of just made my own like groove in it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But yeah, it was a learning process, like kind of making the new wave shit, the sound I'm at now on the same program. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's just experimenting. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Trying shit. Like I'm the type of person like I just that shit sound good. Like I just roll with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if it's breaking the rules. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just gonna push past that. Like
Nah, I mean, and I think one thing I might have left out in the intro is that, I mean, your sound selection, the beats that you put together, that you could always kind of feel like, oh yeah, this is a rolling beat, because it doesn't fit in a genre. There's no real like, oh yeah, this is no, this is a rolling beat. You know what I mean? Like it's and I feel like firsthand, if I could tell a story here. I hate making these about me or that's in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But I was around when you was working with Nato, and shout out
okay,
Nato. I love Nato. You know what I mean? And those like the things that you did with helping with Emerson and Indigo and shit like that. I've always been like, damn, those are like just the little shit that you did with that made those beats so unique.
oh yeah, the mixture of all
Yeah,
yeah crazy and that was my first that'd have been my first or second time, maybe my second time out in LA.
yeah,
So like
yeah. First
and
and
at the
second,
time
yeah,
and around that time and I don't know, like I guess the way we make beats in Atlanta, it's definitely like, it'd be a little regional. Like people nowadays, back from even just 5 years ago, like that's shifted a lot. Like people be making whatever anywhere now. But at that time, it was slick, kind of like electronic a little bit. But
Very.
like, you know what I'm saying? So I just came over there with kind of my ATL, like
Exactly.
just influences and shit like that. That's really like.
But
I
it's
don't know. It's psychedelic too. You
it's
feel me?
very it's very, and because even like and we're gonna bounce around here, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It's a friend of mine, so it's hard to try to
It's
make
so
it.
much.
Yeah,
It's
it's so much going on that I wanna cover everything, but just listen close. You're gonna catch something, I promise. But yeah, because I mean I've always thought it was very electronic, but not so much electronic that it was EDM or like house.
Mhm.
That it was like kind of like a cousin to like your more, I guess, undergroundish, regular mainstream stuff. Like it always kind of put itself in its own bubble, and I kind of like solidified that. Speaking of Terrence, you did the tape that came out in 2021, the counterfeit,
Reality.
yeah, counterfeit reality,
Yep.
and I've always felt like I'm like, oh yeah, you got it. Like there's a certain thing about how he's rapping and things of that nature, because he's always had his own, I guess you could say, je ne sais quoi when it comes to how he raps on certain stuff. But
Most
but marrying the two, off of just, of kind of like your really spacey but like also very aggressive, next to his aggressive but more smooth and very, tamed flow, I guess you could say. It
Love,
it
bro.
it married so well, and I'm like, damn. I feel like people should pay attention to
Yeah.
this. Like,
Hey, man, bro. Me and Twin, like, for real, like, locked in for that tape. Like,
yeah,
on some just like, we've always like, what I'm saying, put a lot of emphasis on just like our craft and like doing this shit, like giving people a good experience. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, we trying to make shit for people to get through life with. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's like, it's just a reflection of our experiences, shit we go through on a day-to-day basis, but we we gonna turn it up, like, what I'm saying, every time, like that shit's truly special. And RP, man, my boy Hollywood Swizz, who engineered
yeah.
that project, he went crazy, like last
Mhm.
project he worked on, like, but yeah,
No,
I appreciate your like outlook on that.
no,
Tape, for real.
I think it was special. You know what I mean? And as someone that keeps their ear to the street, you know what I mean. I definitely think that the paradigm of where it was at, I was like, yeah, this needed to come out when it did, how it did,
Mhm.
because I've always thought too, like, and correct me if I'm wrong, like I don't know how you look at, or how you guys look at when you guys make beats for like these projects, because to me they don't feel like thrown around.
Mhm.
Even singles, like even like 3400 Savage and things of
Mhm.
that, all
Very
sound
precise.
very like, yeah, like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, and to the point where it's like, even Fonny's discography with the stuff that you guys did and things of that nature, everything was a like damn near a hit. Cause I mean, and a shout out my brother. I love everybody, and unfortunately, I know there was a little break in the road, but I understand more than ever that brothers do that. You know what I mean,
Hell yeah.
and things happen, but
It's part of life type shit for sure.
you know what I mean. I know they would kill me if I didn't bring it up.
Oh yeah, man, you
Niggas would have
good,
killed
bro.
me if I ain't
We out
say
here, bro.
something.
It's straight.
That's why niggas come over here and talk. You know what I mean?
Hey
But
man,
you think,
shit shifted on some, respect shit, you feel me? But we cleaned it up, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's my boy. You know what I'm saying? We shit,
no matter how it
you know what I'm
works, that niggas
saying?
is locked in for life. That's what I mean. And
Hell yeah.
I'm happy niggas, got past it. But
Of course,
but
bro.
yeah, but like I was saying, yeah, all these songs, especially like just say from 15 to 22, have all sound like adventures.
Hell yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
explain like kind of like your thought process when you're looking at this MPC to not make, a Griselda song. It's what I mean.
Mhm.
Like, what's going through your head? Like,
That's a deep question, bro. Like, honestly, it depend on the day, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the beats you could probably tell, like, it's, of course, different, modes I be in. I might make something aggressive, dark, but I can make something like trippy or spacey, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I could go different, you know what I'm saying? It's all kind of in the same realm, but
Mhm.
just different, sides of it. But yeah, I just be vibing, bro. Like honestly, I be just channeling like
Yeah.
what God tell me to do. Honestly, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I could really credit to God. Honestly, bro. Cause it's like I just sit down and you know what I'm saying. I I never took no like piano lessons or nothing like that.
Oh, so that's my next question too.
I just self taught myself, and I kind of like from that I think I kind of experimented a way where like I just kind of do my melodies different just off like cause I just sat down and just tried to I kind of put more emphasis on sound selection.
Yeah.
So like a lot of my shit be like, you know, even people say it could be like for a movie, a soundtrack, video game, all that. It's like, yeah, I just be going through that sound selection. I'm real OCD on that shit. So like, I just,
No,
every time I lock in, I'm trying to,
reinvent
go
the wheel.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like all these projects has been that, and I feel like you're a recluse guy, man. You know what I mean? I feel like you don't know unless you know. You know what I mean? You hear the work. You know what I mean? And be like, damn. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah,
like
bro.
to a point where it's like no one has it figured out. You know what I mean? Like you can happily say that you have the blueprint to what it is.
I still feel like a student of the game though, for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Like I'm always trying to learn. I'm always trying to, like, even when I like, even you bringing up like, just like the 15 to like 2022, like, and just like I feel like I feel like my sound shifts like kind of like every 2-3 years a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I kind of add more elements. It just depends on like how I'm feeling the climate a little bit. Definitely shapes it. I mean I couldn't, say like I don't make certain shit for certain people too. Sometimes like I might, what I'm saying, go out of my box, to try to like do something different. So
Yeah.
you know,
Which yeah, the BK shit is insane. All the first even working with
shout out to BK.
shout out to BK for sure. Yeah, but even working with someone that's also that recluse, and you
Yeah.
being as recluse as you are, it's a marriage in a sense.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful time.
our wave was meant to be for sure. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shorty, like, cause man, like, it, she like weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like weird. I make weird beats. Like
Yeah.
some people, they might be like they fuck with the beat, but it might not be for them. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's like I'm kind of like in a headspace when I make it, so I be working with people who be in a similar headspace to that. If that kind of makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come to just abstract thought. You know what I'm
Process,
saying?
yeah.
Experimental thinking, you feel me, when it comes to how you approach your vocals, So I've always gravitated to like artists who,
Have that
we
same
just got
process,
that.
yeah.
Exactly.
Or it's not afraid to push the limits in a sense.
Hell
But
yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, I feel like, you even did, in God Rest, so the Six Dog stuff, you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean,
R.I.P. Six Dogs.
I really think, and I mean,
There's a lot of little,
yeah,
man, the fact that you brought that up, like, you know what's going on, like,
Yeah.
for real. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of little,
come on.
man.
You think I'm about to come here with no type of, come on, man, you
For
dig?
sure, for sure.
But no, I think I'm gonna go on a limb, and I'm sure. Hey, if you want to argue in the comments, I love to argue. So you might have the most densest like underground discography ever. Like as far again from that time to you dig, it's tough.
Hey, appreciate you.
And I wanna follow it up because it's like I said, a lot of the times you don't get a lot. There's about 5 producers that I can name, but I won't because it's gonna be a problem. But that have such a unique way of going about things, and again, regardless of their track record and who they worked with, that it's like, damn, no, I at least need a beat from this person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I feel like you've definitely been one of that for like the last 6 years. You know what I mean? There's somebody has a beat from Roland, no matter how it works out. Even if it's a collab, niggas just want you a part of it.
Yeah, everybody, it's like, hey, I appreciate, like, the people who even hit me up and tap in, like, because I'm just trying to get, like, I honestly, it's like I reach out to people, but, it's a lot of artists I don't work with. Like, it's to the point, like, sometimes I'll be forgetting about songs, you feel me? Sometimes, like, I'll be like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
You feel me? Or out here at the function, I'm like, damn. Like, I haven't heard this beat in a minute. Like, it's really done got to that point. Like, and I feel like I knew early I wanted to, like, have that type of catalog. Like, I ain't want to, like, I'm always on some consistency shit. You know what I'm saying? Keeping shit, clean. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started engineering like last couple years type shit. That like increased the like workload, like, you know what I'm saying, the output way, like, you know what I'm saying, like way more type shit. Yeah. And the quality, you know what I'm saying? Cause I realized, you know what I'm saying, certain shit I would have creatively in my mind, you know what I'm saying, that you try to tell people, but once you know how to do it, you can just do it yourself without, so sometimes it'd be easier.
No, and I think too, like, I mean, like I said, with you already being a self-taught, musician in a sense, you know what I mean? It kind of, follows the same way. You know what I mean? You ain't got to send stuff out to get mixed, or you could just internalize it and do it yourself. You know what I mean? I mean, let's be honest. This whole freelance running around or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's a lot of self motivation. You know what I mean? If you dig, so it's like I definitely. It's good for people to see that it doesn't stop no matter how much you do. You know what I mean? You still have to have the drive to do it no matter, if you're wherever you're at. You know what I mean? But I do want to get into something that, we talked about off camera. And I feel like, this one might go crazy because I feel like it's important. But, the whole rage thing, people were talking about the rage stuff. And, I've always said too, like, I feel like just because somebody might have had the money to push the record doesn't always mean that they're the first one. They didn't
Exactly.
They didn't stitch it all together, or figure out the eureka. No, they just had somebody, have some money.
Yep.
Cause I believe that like Dirt Devil with you and oh boy.
Yo, Dirt Devil with me and Fonny, and shout out my boy Captain Crunch on that too.
Crunch, yeah. So I mean, how do you, where do I mean? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It was good music is good music.
Yeah, good music, good music. We just saying, we pioneered it. I'm not gonna sit and say, I just like, cause it's like I still feel like, regardless at the end of the day, we all got our own sound.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we definitely gave the early roots, you know what I'm saying, to the development of that sound. So you'd have to put us on the pioneer list, you know what I'm saying? So
because I mean, I feel like people moved the goalposts when they talked about it, about what rage is or what it is, you know what I mean, or what I mean. I'm like, I feel like
there's a lot of people, they got a different perception on how they define rage.
Yeah.
The rage we talking about is 2019 to 2021.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's video game hyper melodic. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's very synthy. You know what I'm saying? And it stemmed from a the psychedelics.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of producers that's what I'm saying, doing their thing. Like they done hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Like they done heard Dirt Devil. You feel me? And the date on that song. You feel me? It's just like that's the proof in the pudding. Just check the dates. You feel me? So.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of undeniable, like I said. But the biggest thing, they moved the goalposts because there's no people's, like I said, definition of what it is everywhere. You know what I mean?
People on Twitter talking about Kid Cudi, like, you know what I'm saying? Kanye West, like, hell no, like, in respect to them creators, you feel me? But that ain't what we talking about, like that shit.
I've always feel like it started in the underground. There was nobody mainstream that was doing it. You know what I mean? It was a very, because I mean nobody was hip to it, and then even though too, Fonny didn't rap on it like wow, people rap on rage now.
Exactly.
So it's like oh well, it's not a rage song. Like isn't the song the beat? Exactly,
that whole album, that tape was on Seeing Colors.
Yeah.
It's like Dirt Devil, Gone With It. Like
numbers,
like even the right? Numbers on there too, but like even the Gone With It beat, I didn't go like super video game, but the drums. You know what I'm saying? I'm cranking shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, and this is off my energy at the at the spot, you know what I'm saying? What we doing today, like, and it was just off. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Energy. So I'm just glad we put it out at the time we did. You know what I'm saying? We just. You know what I'm saying?
It's happened the way it happened.
Exactly.
No, I ain't gonna lie. So I know too. I was talking to the homie, and I was like, "Damn, you was real early on that Dior versus you shit."
Oh yeah.
You might be the earliest.
Shout out my boy Dior.
You early on a lot of niggas though.
Yeah, like this. Like I could be like an A&R. You know what I'm saying? Like in the sense of like, I mean, producers are A&Rs kind of.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying,
you would think so, yeah.
Nowadays, especially because shit different, but like, yeah, shout out my boy Dior, man. Like, we've been working, like, it's Atlanta be small, like,
Small as hell.
it's a lot of people, like, that been knowing each other way before, you know what I'm saying? They started, like, popping off with the music together, so it's some family shit, you know what I'm saying? I know his brother, shout out my boy Crafty, man. Like, man, he was around when we was doing the early TTB shit, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, he was just always been swagging, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, he was meant to.
It was gonna happen either way. Yeah.
He too advanced, you know what I'm saying? So, you already know.
I was like, I had to say it because I was like, damn, I know we talked about it, but I was like, damn, I'm like, that scoreboard shit was like,
Yeah, Scoreboard EP.
yeah, it was a minute ago.
We got so many singles floating on the cloud that's just like, you know.
Oh, for real. I mean, that's another thing too. I mean, we keep talking, or we keep saying, like, things have shifted so much from what it was. You know what I mean? What do you think has been detrimental, like a help, like a good shift, but like versus like something that might not be so helpful that people might not be aware about?
You saying like a positive shift?
Yeah,
or
like a
like,
positive shift and a negative one.
like in the underground.
Yeah,
Like
the underground. Yeah, exactly.
I think nowadays, if you willing to, like, honestly, you gotta just put yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you willing to put your face out there, like, you already like halfway. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's people. It's not based off followers no more. So it's like, you feel me? If you make content, whatever you do, art, music, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
like, even how the underground is now, like, it's a lot of shit going on. Like, I can't even keep up no more because it's like, it's so many people. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's people who, they learning about, different areas of the underground because this shit just, like,
Yeah.
it's so much happening. Like, even right now, it's like, it's somebody out there going crazy who we
right.
don't know about in 6 months. It's going to be like they already been doing their thing. So, it's just an endless cycle, like, cycle. I think things, music, like I said, like, anybody can do this shit now if they got the heart, you know what I'm saying? Like, so.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, like, it's not as, you don't need, like, a fancy studio.
It's not as niche as
like,
it used to be.
It's good. I respect, you know what I'm saying, good. I'm always about quality and all that shit. But, yin and yang is kind of like, there's a lot of people who got their start because they had, like, something like Band Lab.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then they shifted, you know what I'm saying? They was able to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, make the shift, yeah.
They might not have ever even, you feel me, recorded, you feel me, if they didn't have that, you know what I'm saying? The underground got more tools now than it
ever
5,
had.
6 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit wasn't, But that also comes with
the time as well. I mean, y'all niggas was making it work. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah. That's what make it so iconic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, when you do things in a certain time, it's forever, and that's why, folks gotta let that shit be known, like, because it gets lost in it's so much shit that get lost in translation. We saying shit on this podcast right now that,
Yeah.
might run it back 10 years from now, you know what I'm saying? So
might definitely be, I mean, shit, they definitely gonna be different then. Yeah, I mean,
sure.
and that's why I'm like, cause I remember when we shot that little video for the What You On. Remember that?
Yeah, talking about What You On. Yeah, that was a night.
That was a night.
That was a sick night, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that was, where we was
He was out here.
downtown. We was downtown.
It was the Valley.
Okay, we was in the Valley.
Remember they had both rooms because Molly was in the other room.
Yeah, Molly was in one room going crazy. Uno in the other.
You did Tymes for Molly, right?
Taraji.
Taraji,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that was the one we did for that. I forget what we called that tape.
It had a rainbow.
Pika Molly or something.
Pika Molly, yeah, it was a rainbow. Yeah.
Hell yeah, that was a night. Uno had pulled up like a Cardo beat, went crazy.
Yeah.
And then pulled up my shit after that.
Exactly.
I was like,
I ain't gonna lie. And that's why I'm like, I wanted you to come out here because I'm like, there's so much behind the scenes stuff that that you, like I said, you was there. Like there was a whole video And the niggas in there, but niggas ain't like, yo, they ain't put shit together. I was like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Hey, shit. I realize shit happens. I always been the type to just roll with the punches. This shit, like, cause at the end of the day, I'm trying to give people. I go through a lot of shit behind the scenes, making these songs happen and just release. You know what I'm saying? It'd be so much to get the shit out in a certain way. So it's like, that's a part of that's my job though.
No, I mean,
I ain't tripping, but
could be worse.
that shit exactly. But
no,
yeah,
I was gonna say too. How do you feel about like loops?
loops.
How do you feel about loops? Because I feel like, I feel like one thing that's definitely shifted, and I brought this up in a previous interview, but I feel like, especially in the realm that that we're in now. Back then, I don't think that was that big of a thing. But now, everybody is sending. You know what I mean? It's 70 producers on one beat. You know what I mean? Like, how do you feel about that? Because it's like a culture now.
I support loops, man. I'm not gonna lie. What I don't support is AI. Loops. Honestly, it's just a different term for we've made it faster. There's people who just specifically do that. You know what I'm saying? And when I first started producing, I might we send melodies back and forth and all that, but we didn't even have a label for it. But it was like, some people like to work in person. All that. It has made it a different kind of vibe. You feel me? But ultimately, I mean, great art is being made faster. So I support loops. You feel me? Like, people send me 5 loops all the time. I'm gonna go crazy. So
yeah, exactly.
I like to make my own shit, but I definitely I like to blend my style with other people's style. You know what I'm saying? Make something even
crazier.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
But no,
I definitely don't want to loop with 3 people on it though. Like don't send me no loop with 3 people on it. Like,
don't send him no loop with 3 people on it.
One's cool, 2 max. But that's where
Exactly. I feel like the shit is ruined when it starts to get, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna lie. And I get it though. You know what I mean? I definitely understand people being hungry. People want, you know what I mean? Like, hey, like, if I could jump on this shit with you, let's make it happen.
Exactly.
But I'm like, yo, chill. You know what I mean?
It's levels, and there's levels to that loop shit. Like, if you sending 5 loops, you can feel the soul in them shit. Like,
exactly.
People gonna fuck with it. But if you just trying to,
make something happen,
send something out to 100 people, you just trying
Somebody
to catch.
Get one of these
You just sending shit out on a whim, just hoping. It's kind of like there's not as much soul behind that. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, you did bring up an interesting topic talking about the whole not fucking with the AI shit. I mean, you think it's hurting more than helping?
It will in the long run.
Things?
I think right now we straight, but it's already starting to kind of, I just can't. I can't get down with it. Like, robots making beats and shit like that. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it just takes it's already an oversaturated market. Right. So it's like, add robots to the equation. People who don't even make music being able to type in a prompt and make a beat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I've been working on this same beat for fucking,
Of course, I don't think they'll be able to replicate, the greats.
Yeah.
Like, but it is AI though. It's meant to replicate, and so it's just gonna get smarter. So.
No, I think too, like all the even all the chatter about certain songs being used or Kanye using it. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like it's more shock value than people actually being excited. About the music.
It definitely gonna use it for shock value nowadays too. Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? And it's like, not to say the music's bad or whatever the case is, but it's just like, like niggas ain't, like, bro, you ain't make this shit, bro. You had somebody type it in, or like niggas using other people's voices. Like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. I understand a tool's a tool. It might be cool for like references and shit like that or whatever. But as far as like a polished track, you know what I mean, between 2 people or however many, it's like you can't really, you can't replicate that. You know what I mean? But either way. But I wanna. We're getting to the end of here, but I wanna get into 1 or 2 last prompts, because people are gonna kill me if I don't ask. But like, you are one of the only other people too that's made a career out of kind of like the duos, like you and Terrence, you and Fighty, so on and so forth. But you still been able to do your own thing, and I feel like a lot of producers have a problem where too, if they can't work with the person that they came up with or whatever the case is, there's just a loss. And how have you been able to overcome that? because I feel like that is a super hard thing. And I feel like that goes for any freelance. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? If you work with a company for so long and you stop working with them, fuck. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you've been able to, again, like I said, I keep saying it, but reinvent the wheel every time, even after you know, your run is over with that person, or not over, but you're doing
Yeah,
something else.
I
You
could.
know what
Yeah,
I mean?
exactly, for
Your
sure.
solo career has never stopped. After doing a collab project. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So
Honestly, bro, just I mean, I've always been the type to like I'm not really like under nobody, so like it's kind of I kind of had to shape my brand in a way. Like even I do like solo projects, like little beat tapes,
hmm
little instrumental drops, stuff like that, because I always like the sound is like beyond vocals. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's universal, in so many different ways. So like knowing that, like I just you know I've always
hmm
been able to like kind of adapt and evolve with whatever's going on. You know what I'm saying? And like I said too, it'd be a lot of organic shit that just be happening like on a whim. You know what
hmm
I'm saying? Where like I just be ending up locked in with people. You know what I'm saying? And I do. It's always my goal to give anybody I work with like it's gonna be different.
yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? It don't matter any level. You know what I'm saying? We
hmm
gonna trying to make like the best song in your catalog. You know what I'm saying? Stuff
Yeah,
like that.
facts.
So yeah, man, like just being open minded too.
hmm
Like I've always, been open,
Yeah.
so
hmm
I'm trying to keep that going, you know what I'm saying? Just cuz it's going to be more pages in the story, you know what I'm saying?
So
Like
I'd always just have a plan. You know what I mean? Like the creative juices never really stop
mhm.
turning for you. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's just crazy to see that niggas are putting up, great numbers as far as, the music that's being pumped out. And niggas just have no lack of, oh, well, you know what I mean? There's no break in between what you've been doing. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? But I do want to talk, what's next? Because, like I said, you drop these beat tapes in between working and like the little visual shit that you
Little
do
Easter
for
eggs.
the
I even done dropped a song on folks like I dropped a song called Vanish, like just rapping.
yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
know, I
saying?
heard.
And that's just on some cool shit, like, cause it's like my fans are so like cool. So it's like they're open to what, like, even like when I bring like new artists into the mix, like
Mm-hmm.
new people I'm collabing with, they're always gonna like, what I'm saying, look for that. Like even when, they see my name, they gonna click that one
Click it
first.
anyway, yeah.
So, you know,
No matter how it goes. So so what are we getting next? You know what I mean?
shoot.
It's a
I'm
goddamn deal.
I'm not gonna lie right now, I'm of course working on new music. I'm finna put out a new mix soon.
Mm-hmm.
Got songs with like got songs with a lot of people dropping. But I'm also mainly working on merch. I'm trying to kind of
Mm.
make the brand more like, you know, lifestyle, because it's a lot of the vision expands beyond the music,
Yeah.
and at this point it's like I want to give all the people that follow me something to rock. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I'm on that this year. Traveling more, doing stuff like this. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? Linking with great people, man. So
Hey man, I'm happy we can link with you. You know what I mean? You
you
did.
already know I appreciate you, bro.
It's been in the works for a minute.
Yeah, man.
For
Overdue.
for a minute, man. That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
But look, you know what I mean. I just want, like I said before in the beginning, man. You definitely stood the test of time. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like we did what. It's 10 years, whatever. It's gonna be another 50 more. You know what I'm
Yup.
saying? I'm sure of it.
Yup.
You know what I mean?
I'm gunning for the top spot. Like, you know what I'm saying? This shit ain't never gonna stop. So
No, no, man. You know what I mean? And I mean, shit. You gonna stay alive no matter how it work, bro. You know what I'm saying? You niggas tour off your songs by themselves. You know what I mean? So you got it, man. Like
yup,
it just is what it is. But either way, man, I'm grateful that you came on, man. I came fuck with us. You know what I'm saying?
of course.
Like everybody else. So any last words before we get out of here?
Shoot, man. Any last words? Shoot, for the people watching, man. Just I'm gonna give some motivational shit.
You
So
ain't gotta tell me. Tell them.
for sure, yeah. So yeah, just whatever you do, whether it's music, whatever your craft is, like, just stay locked in on that shit and have faith, like, for real, like, when you know your shit is like something and you just trying to get it to people, just lock in and just be yourself with it, and be weird, be experimental, because we need new shit. You know what I'm saying? The year's gonna keep going. We need new shit. We don't need, you know what I'm saying? Nostalgia cool and all that, but like, if you're doing something different, just stand on that shit. Like, fuck it. So that's my word of encouragement.
Fuck it. Just do it.
Hell yeah.
Guys, this has been let me get right. Again, appreciate to Pirate Studios for lending the spot, once again. Anything that you want to know about them will definitely be in the description along with their podcast. Please subscribe, you know what I mean? There's gonna be a lot of fun things on their end coming out, you know what I'm saying, that I'm, grateful to be a part of. You know what I mean? And like I said, DJs, bands, rappers, singers, any type of, creative audio medium, this is where you need to be. Pirate Studios, my boy Roland.
Appreciate you, my boy.
Appreciate you. It's Lyfe and Tymes. All his hits, most of his hits, all the ones that I love, which is damn near all of them, in the description. Spotify, you know what I mean? Our playlist will be in there.
Real one.
Come on. Bow.
Type in IG.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, all it, bro.
All that shit.
Oh, description. Thank you, Pirate. Thank you, Roland.
Tim,
Yo.
the man.
Man.
I am too solid to get with a snitch. Talking down X's ass right off the list. Hold it down, we gon' get even with him. Better than the 8, so I guess I'm a chimp. Feeling like Drake with my chips with the deals. Rolling inside.